Republicans aren't happy with President Barack Obama's choice to appoint Judge Sonia Sotomayor to the Supreme Court. In this week's commentary, Jason Rosenbaum looks at the fight that's brewing over Sotomayor's nomination and whether it's really going to matter, especially since Democrats do have the majority.
If conventional wisdom reigns supreme, this will be the summer of Sonia Sotomayor. That's because President Barack Obama's pick to the United States Supreme Court will be grilled, sautéed, marinated, and broiled before the Senate in the coming weeks. At least that's what's happened in the past, especially with controversial selections to the nation's highest court. To some, Sotomayor's confirmation is the biggest deal since some dude in Chillicothe, Missouri commercially marketed sliced bread. Sotomayor's nomination, for example, is causing a lot of teeth gnashing in right-leaning circles. They're hopping mad about comments Sotomayor made a few years ago regarding life experience and judicial temperament. The Reverend Pat Robertson has publicly called Sotomayor an outrage and demanded that Republicans filibuster her nomination. Democrats are pointing to Sotomayor's extensive experience as a prosecutor and as a federal judge. Senator Chuck Schumer called Sotomayor virtually filibuster-proof and said Republicans had really no good reason to oppose her nomination. Rhetoric aside, it's pretty hard to feel for either party in this situation. After all, Democrats fiercely fought George W. Bush's judicial selections earlier in the decade. Democrats even attempted to filibuster Samuel Alito's nomination to the High Court, a move that then-Senator Obama supported. It's a little hard to believe that they are aghast when GOPers exercise similar tactics. But elections matter, and Republicans took such a bad thumping in the last two that they have essentially lost their ability to filibuster anything. Because of this legislative math, they really shouldn't be surprised to have little leverage to combat Obama's judicial picks. And there's another important reason besides congressional calculus that the fight over Sotomayor's nod might not be as earth-shaking as people think. Sotomayor is vying to replace Justice David Souter, a George H.W. Bush appointee that gravitated to the so-called liberal wing of the court. It's hard to surmise how Sotomayor will rule over the coming years, but it's difficult to imagine that her presence will convince the so-called conservative bloc to shift course. I wouldn't be surprised if this scenario reoccurred during Obama's presidency. The justices most likely to retire, John Paul Stevens and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, also reside on the liberal side of the court. The five who are defined as conservatives seem to be a long ways away from hanging up their robes. Those extenuating factors take the sizzle out of this summertime showdown. While Republicans may try to make a rhetorical stand against Sotomayor, the fact of the matter is they do not have the numbers to stop the nomination. And barring some dramatic developments or a Republican takeover of Congress, future Obama judicial nominations could be an example of a whole lot of sound and fury, signifying very little. I'm Jason Rosenbaum.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's it for this week's Talking Politics. Podcasts of this show and all of our shows are available at KBIA.org. Thanks for listening. I'm Sarah Whitmire.